Even though the hadiths mention that 124,000 prophets were sent, only 25 of them are named in the Quran. We have some knowledge about these prophets from the Quran, from hadiths, and even from earlier books like the Torah and the Bible. However, many people don't know about the nations they were sent to, the regions they lived in, and where those places are today. In this video, we will take a short but educational journey through who these 25 prophets mentioned in the Quran were, where they were sent, and where those lands are now in today's world. They were human beings just like us. They had families, they had desires, but they dedicated their lives to their mission. Allah mentioned their names in the Quran, peace be upon them all. Before we start, please subscribe to our channel and like the video so we can reach more people. Adam Alism, the first human and the first prophet, was created by the command of Allah from different types of soil. The angels mixed this soil with water and shaped it. After waiting for 40 years, the clay hardened and became like dry mud. On the 10th day of Muharram, which was a Friday, Allah gave him a soul and taught him the knowledge of everything. By Allah's command, the angels prostrated to Adam, but last became arrogant and refused. He was then cast out of paradise. Adam married Hawa, who was created in paradise, and they lived there together for a while. However, because they ate from the forbidden tree, they were sent down to earth. Adam realized his mistake and sincerely repented. Allah accepted his. See Surah Al-Baqarah 237. Allah appointed Adam as a caliph representative on earth. After being separated from Hawa for many years, they met again in Arafat and built the Kaaba. Adam Alism was chosen as a prophet. He was given a small book with 10 pages. He taught people about faith, worship, and knowledge. They lived in towns and worked with crafts and skills. A tragic event happened between Adam's sons Habil and Qabil. Qabil, driven by jealousy, killed his brother Habil. This was the first murder in human history. Humanity continued through the children of both brothers. According to some narrations, Adam Alism lived a long life, about 960 years, even though worship and divine teachings continued among his children and grandchildren after his death. Over time, some people began to go astray. This would later lead to the coming of new prophets. It is said that his grave is in either Jerusalem, Mina, or Arafat. Hadiths mention that his height was between 30 and 40 meters. Idris Alism is one of the prophets mentioned in the Quran. According to narrations, he had many special qualities. He was the 5th generation descendant of Adam Alism. Allah gave him 30 Suho scriptures and taught him many sciences. Before him, people wore animal skins or leaves. He taught people how to sew clothes and build cities. He knew 72 languages and invited every community to the true religion in their own tongue. Idris was the first person to write, to use a pen, and to teach knowledge. He also studied the stars and the movements of the sky. Because of this, he is known as the prophet of both knowledge and art. He migrated from Babylon to Egypt and lived there for many years, calling people to the true religion. In Surah Al-An verse 85, he is mentioned as one oft patient, righteous, and truthful people. The Quran says, "We raised him to a high place." Many Islamic scholars believe that he was taken to the heavens without dying. Some narrations say he is the 4th level of the sky. In Alism was sent as a prophet after Idris Alism. Islamic historians say he was sent to the region of Mosul in Iraq. His people were idol worshippers from Mesopotamia. At that time, people started worshipping, and sins like injustice and immorality became common. New Alism was given prophethood at the age of 50. He invited his people to believe in Allah, to leave idol worship for 950 years, but only a small number of people believed in him. Most of his people rejected him, mocked him, and treated him badly. When he realized that they would never believe, he prayed to Allah. Then Allah informed him of a great flood that was coming. By Allah's command, he built a large ship. He took on board the believers and a pair of every animal. Then the great flood began. Heavy rain poured from the sky. Water gushed from the earth, and all those who disbelieved drowned. The flood lasted for 6 months, and the ship finally came to rest on Mount Judy. One of Nuh's own sons did not board the ship and drowned in the water. Nuh Alism had 3 sons, Sam, Ham, and Japheth, who became the ancestors of all people. According to Islamic historians, Sam's descendants include Arabs, Jews, Assyrians, Babylonians, Persians, Syriacs, and Arameans. Ham's descendants include African peoples, Egyptians, and Ethiopians. Japheth's descendants include Turks, Greeks, Russians, Mongols, Chinese, Indians, and Europeans. These lineages are described in theorems of scholars like Ibn Kathir, Ibn Khaldun, and other classical Islamic historians, and, for this reason, Enolism is known as the second Adam. He lived a long life and died at the age of 1000. The Quran mentions him in many verses and describes him as a very grateful servant of Allah. Hud al-Islam was from the descendants of Sam the son of Enolism. He was sent to the people of Ad Yemen. The people of Ad earned their living through trade. Over time, they became wealthy and powerful. They built tall buildings, but they also became corrupt and started worshipping idols. They committed injustice, behaved arrogantly, and cheated in trade, just for more wealth. Hud al-Islam called them to believe in Allah, but they denied him. Allah warned them first with drought and famine. Then He sent a strong burning wind that destroyed them. Only Hud al-Islam and those who believed in him were saved. Hud alayhi salam later settled in Mecca and passed away there. This story is told in many parts of the Quran. Salih al-Islam was sent as a prophet to the people of Thamud. The people of Thamud were idol worshippers. They were advanced in technology and architecture, carving homes inside mountains, and building strong cities. C.S. Surah Al-Araf verse ke-74. They lived in a region known today as Madan Salih in Saudi Arabia. Salih invited them to believe in Allah. They said to him, "If you bring out a pregnant she-camel from this rock in front of our eyes, we will belly of you." Saul prayed to Allah, and as a miracle, a large she-camel came out off the rock in front of everyone. This camel was a clear sign from Allah. Its milk was so abundant that the entire people could drink without shortage. But the leaders of the tribe said, "If this camel stays, Saul's influence will grow, and people will no longer listen to us." They made a secret plan and killed the camel during the night. This was not just killing an animal. It was destroying a sign from Allah. After that, they were given 3 days of warning. During this time, Salih and the believers left the city. On the third day, a loud sound and a violent shaking from the earth destroyed the people of Thamud. Only a small group of true believers survived. The destruction of Thamud is mentioned in the Quran as Al-Islam. Ibrahim al-Islam is one of the 5 great prophets in Islam. He was sent to the people of the Chaldeans who were idol worshippers. He defended the belief in Ta'ut, oneness of Allah, while his people were away celebrating a festival. Ibrahim alayhi salam broke the idols except the biggest one, and he hung the axe around its neck. When they returned, they questioned him. "Ibrahim, maybe the big one did it. Ask him if he can speak." He defeated them with wisdom. They had no answer. But still, they lit a huge fire and threw him into it. By the will of Allah, the fire did not burn him, and he came out safely after this. His people rejected him. By Allah's command, he migrated. He traveled with his wife Sarah to Egypt, and then to Palestine. In Egypt, he married Hajar as his second wife. After many years without children, Ibrahim had a son, Ismail, from Hajar, and later another son, Ishaq, from Sarah. Ismail became the ancestor of the Arabs and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ishaq became the ancestor of the Jews and the prophets from Bani Israel. So in reality, Jews and Arabs are brothers, but the Jews saw the Arabs as stepbros and excluded them, leading to a power struggle. Ibrahim and his son Ismail built the Kaaba by Allah's command. The Kaaba became the center of worship. They also performed Hajj and taught it to the people. Allah showed Ibrahim a dream to sacrifice his son Ismail. Ismail said, "Father, do as you are commanded." When he placed the knife on his son's neck, Allah stopped him and said, "Oh, Ibrahim, you fulfilled your dream. We have completed this clear test." Then Allah sent a large animal tobe, sacrificed instead. As Muslims, we continue this tradition by celebrating Eid al-Adha, as ordered in the Quran. Ibrahim al-Islam passed away in Jerusalem at the age of 175. He is known as the close friend, Khalil, of Allah. Lut al-Islam. Lut al-Islam was the nephew of Ibrahim. After they migrated together from Babylon to Sham, Greater Assyria, Lut was sent as a prophet to the people of Sodom. This region is around present-day Jordan and the Dead Sea. The events happened a few centuries after the flood of Nali Sam around 2,000 BCE during the rise of Mesopotamian civilizations. As a miracle, Lut made rain fall from a clear sky and spoke with stones. These miracles proved to his people that he was a prophet. But the people of Sodom worshipped idols and committed a type of relationship the world had never seen before: homosexual acts. However, these acts were not just private sins, they were forced upon others. They would assault young boys and enslave them. Wealthy men would treat young males as property. They even blocked roads and kidnapped maltravelers to abuse them. This was not just individual sin, it had become a system of organized oppression. The Quran describes their behavior like this: you approach men, block the roads, and commit shameful acts in your gatherings. Surah Al-Kabut ke-29. Lut al-Ism invited them to the right path, but they refused and became even more aggressive. They even threatened to expel Lut and his family from the city. One day, 3 strangers came from the sky. They appeared as handsome young men and stayed at Lut's house as guests. The people of the city gathered and demanded to take these guests by force. They wanted to assault them. Lut was afraid, but the guests revealed they were angels. They told Lut to leave the city during the night with the believers. That night, Lut and a few believers escaped. By morning, the city was turned upside down. Stones rained from the sky, and the corrupted people were completely destroyed. According to Islam, they were not destroyed just for practicing homosexual acts. They were punished because they forced this lifestyle on society, kidnapped a weak, and normalized group assaults. The story of 3 handsome young men is told in the Quran to show this exact reason. Ismail al-Ism was the eldest son of Ibrahim al-Ism, and one of the great-grandfathers of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His mother was Hajar. Ibrahim al-Ism left Hajar and Ismail in Mecca and returned, while Hajar ran between the hills of Safa and Marwa in search of water. The water of Zamzam miraculously burst from the ground. As Ismail grew older, he was sent as a prophet to the tribe of Juhem. He taught them the religion of Allah, called people to worship, and showed them how to pray and give zakah. He was also known for his skills in archery and horse riding. It is mentioned in hadith books that Ismailism revived and established the Arabic language. His miracles include making fruits grow on thorny trees and causing sheep to give milk. He passed away in Mecca and was buried beside the Kaaba in the area known as Haichika Shakali. Salam was the second son of Ibrahim, and his mother was Sarah. He wasn't as a prophet to the people of Canaan, the land of today's Palestine. He visited Makkah with his brother Ismail and later spread the religion of his father. The Quran describes Ishaq as a good servant, righteous, truthful, and devoted to Allah. He was also the father of Jacob, who was a prophet. His miracles included animals testifying to his prophethood, a mountain moving through his prayer, and bringing dead animals back to life. He passed away at the age of 120 in Palestine. His grave is in the city of Hebron, where his father Ibrahim al-Isam was also buried. Yaqub al-Ism was the grandson of Ibrahim al-Ism and the son of Ishaq al-Ism. His title is Israel, which is why his descendants are called Bani Israel, they're children of Israel. He had 12 sons, and from them came the tribes of the Israelites. He was sent as a prophet to the land of Canaan, and invited people to believe in Allah because of his deep love for his son Yusuf. His other sons became jealous, a test that Yaqub had to endure. The Quran introduces Yaqub as one of the most patient prophets. When lost his son, he did not complain but said, "I only express my sorrow and sadness to Allah." Surah Yusuf ke-89 on his deathbed. He asked his sons, "How will you worship after me?" They replied, "We will worship your God and the God of your fathers, Ibrahim, Ismail, and Ishaq, the one true God." Yaqub al-Isam died in Egypt, but according to his will, he was taken to Palestine and buried next to his father, Ishaq. Yusuf al-Ism was the son of Yaqub al-Ism and was sent as a prophet to the people of Egypt. He lost his mother at a young age and was raised with great love by his father. As a child, he saw a dream and told his father, "My dear father, I saw in my dream 11 stars, the sun and the moon, all prostrating to me." Surah Yusuf 4. This dream was a sign that he would one day become a prophet and be given a high rank. Yusuf's good character and his father's deep love for him made his brothers jealous. Out of envy, they threw him into a well. A passing caravan him and sold him as a slave in Egypt. The chief minister, Aziz of Egypt, bought him and raised him in his home. Everyone admired Yusuf for his beauty, honesty, and purity. When Yusuf grew older, the minister's wife, Zuliaka, tried to tempt him, but Yusuf protected his honor and ran away. Even though the truth became known, he was still imprisoned unfairly for a time. Even in prison, Yusuf preached hard, the oneness of Allah. He taught morals and reflection to the prisoners. He interpreted the dreams of 2 inmates. One of them later went to serve the king. Years passed and the king had a strange dream that no one couldn't. Then they remembered Yusuf, who explained it. There will be 7 years of abundance followed by 7 years of famine. Surah Yusuf ke-47. Because of his correct interpretation, Egypt prepared for the famine and Yusuf was placed in charge of the country's treasures. Due to the famine, his brothers came to Egypt. Yusuf recognized him and kept his brother Benjamin with him through a clever plan. Later he revealed his true identity, brought his whole family to Egypt, and healed his father's blindness. Yusuf forgave his brothers even though they had wronged him. He told them, "There is no blame on you today. May Allah forgive you." Surah Yusuf 92. This is one of the most powerful examples of forgiveness in the Quran. After reuniting with his family and reaching the highest position in Egypt, Yusuf still longed to return to Allah. This shows how elevated his spiritual rank was. His heartfelt prayer is recorded in the Quran. "My Lord, you have given me power and taught me the interpretation of events, Creator of the heavens and the earth. You are my protector in this world and the hereafter. Let me die as a Muslim and join me with the righteous." This is the peak of true servitude and detachment from the world. After his death, he was buried near Jerusalem. Shub al-Islam. Shub al-Islam was sent as a prophet to the people of Madian and the people of Ayaka. Madian was located between today's Jordan and northwest Saudi Arabia. Because of his sweet and effective speech, he was known as the orator of the prophets. His people worshipped idols and were involved in trade, but most of them were busy with scenes like cheating in measurements, unfair weighing, charging interest, and fraud. He called them Tot, belief in the oneness of Allah and justice. He said, "Give full measure and weight with justice, and do not reduce people's belongings. Do not spread corruption on the earth." Surah Al-Araf 85. But his people mocked him and said, "O Shib, do you tell us to leave the religion of our ancestors or not? To do what we want with our wealth?" Surah Hud 87. Shib al-Islam warned them that Allah's punishment would come within 3 days. Then an earthquake seized them and they were found dead in their homes, fallen on their knees. Surah Hud ke-1194. The people of Acre were also traitors and showed the same corrupt behavior as the people of Madian. However, their punishment was different. Days of extreme heat followed. Then the sky darkened and it looked like cool shade was coming. But from that shade came a painful punishment. A burning fire came from the sky and they were all destroyed. Shub al-Islam later returned to Madian with the believers. He also met Musa al-Islam, who married one of his daughters. According to narrations, Shub al-Islam lived for 242 years. Today, there is a shrine in Jordan in a place called Wadishu. Ayyub al-Islam, or Baalium, was sent as a prophet to Bani Israel, the children of Israel. He was very wealthy, generous, righteous, and thankful to Allah. Allah tested him with both blessings and great trials. Hephus lost his wealth, then his children, and finally his health. His body was full of painful sores. Only his wife stayed with him and cared for him with patience. Despite the whispers of